Awards 2022. Today, Geek and me will present to you the 21 winners in the respective categories. I'm hyped for that, Geek.
Yeah, I am also hyped for that. This is very much a great celebration of everything that the Trackmania community has been able to pull off over the course of 2022, and we're here to celebrate that and to ultimately celebrate those that have really set themselves out of the pack.
Oh yeah, look at that. We have some medals. Those medals will also be shipped to the winners in those respective categories. So that's cool. That's very nice. But let us introduce ourselves maybe a little bit, who we are. I'm Turbo. I've also said that already. I think I'm not sure if I forgot it or not, but I'm Turbo. I'm 25 years old from Germany, and I'm a caster and content creator in Trackmania. I'm with you.
I'm Thomas Bengozi, also known as GGeek in the online world, 25-year-old from France, and also primarily known as a Trackmania commentator as well.
Yeah, a great one, if I might say so.
I mean, speak for yourself.
No, let's not go into that. So first we want to give a shout out to NTWU for this awesome production here. We've just are in, I don't want to butcher that pronunciation from the city, so maybe you can pronounce the city better than I can.
Having us here in Perpignan and having the production means to be able to do a show like this, it really is amazing.
Yeah, and then also, of course, thank you to Lauz, who was the head production behind that, made all the graphics, all the videos, so thank you for that. And also, shout out to Ubisoft NADEO sponsoring this whole event.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Ubisoft NADEO, for allowing us and supporting this event in more ways than one. And I think we should just get stuck in and get to reveal some of the categories and winners.
Sure, we can start with the first one. I mean, we did reveal videos, and that was all the way the first video that we've done. And let's sit down for that, maybe.
Yeah, that should be better.
I mean, it is the Community Person of the Year. That was the first category that we took a look on, and we have 4 nominees there: Bö, Miss, SRK, and Cam. And I mean, all of them really are a name to themselves. We're really involved in the 24-hour race and just organizing all of that. Then Miss, of course, developing the Open Planet plugin. SRK, Mr. Trackmania Esports, you can say like that.
Yeah, indeed.
And then, of course, Cam, you know.
Mr. Stats Guy.
Yeah, and is there any channel where Cam is not modding? I'm not so sure about that.
No, I don't think that. I think there's a conspiracy theory running that Cam is actually a 100-man army employee, army company that is actually moderating every single Trackmania stream there is. But yeah, special mention for me to Miss being the main lead developer behind Open Planet, and bringing us all kinds of tools and plugins that enhance really the experience of Trackmania for many players around the world.
Yeah, definitely helped a lot. I mean, Open Planet is a really important tool. Not being allowed in the TMCL, but you have the Open Planet plugin dashboard, for example, where you can see your inputs and all of that. So that's very awesome to see. But should we already jump into the winner of this category?
I think it's time for the big time. I think it's time to go for the big reveal and see who has been awarded Community Person of the Year. So,
all right,
looking forward to it. And there is the result. It is Miss, taking away the award with 37% of the votes. Cam second with 26, Bö third with 23, very close. And then SRK rounding out the votes with 12%.
So give a round of applause to Miss. Also, if you sit in front of your PCs, I think she really deserves it. And there you can also see the plugin here, and just the opportunities that you have. They're almost unlimited. So very good to see that. So congratulations to Miss.
Yeah, congratulations, and you can see the possibilities are pretty much limitless with Open Planet. Any plugin, pretty much any plugin, any kind of extra feature you want under the sun, there is a high likelihood that Open Planet has it, as featured here with the dashboard plugin, especially useful for people coming from other racing games, as is personally my case, although I will not really delve too much into that. But very great tool, probably a must-have if you want to play Trackmania on PC. I really think so.
Agreed. Very important tool, and I really love to see that Miss wins this one. I think really deserved in that way. Obviously, I don't want to the other nominees are also worth to be mentioned.
Everybody's worth it.
It's just such a great effort that she put into that, and it's great that this was eventually rewarded.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair to say that all the nominees, in some way, are really deserving of that. So yeah, it's all well and good, but congratulations to Miss.
Congratulations. Okay, let's go into the next category.
All right, next category is going to be Social Creator of the Year, paying tribute to some of the most prolific creators on social media in 2022. The 4 nominees for this year were Marcel Rosek, taking up the role of Eirik Holdal in the journalist category, Spam, who's been pretty much active on every single platform there is, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, pretty much everywhere there is. Flink, very great, very good content. Had only had a chance to catch a couple of videos lately, but yeah, very, very good. And Virtual, there's just no ways around it. He's very much the storyteller from our community, and he still very much excels at that, especially in 2022. And yeah, it's a very, very stacked kind of nomination.
Agreed.
And I want to give a special shout out to Marcel Osek here, because for me, this is the kind of gap that Eirik left, and that he's been stepping in to fill the void with live tickers on matches, also transfer news, etc. Also doing interviews with the pros and quizzes like the odd one out, and guess the track and stuff like that. So yeah, it is. He's improving a lot, and yeah, I feel like this is going to be one of the main sources of information for the social media space in 2023.
So a must follow on Twitter.
Indeed.
If you ask me, if you don't want to miss out on any content or like any information about the esports side of Trackmania, you definitely have to follow Marcel. So great shout out that you give us there, but also the others. I mean, Virtual being the voice of Trackmania, you know, pulling in thousands of viewers, and almost, I think, being close to 1 million subscribers on YouTube. That's just
I think that is
a tremendous
right,
amount. So like 1 million very soon. And then of course, you know, Flink doing a lot of cool videos, and also good ideas like don't forget about the IC campaigns and also the random map challenge.
IC campaigns with prize pools, indeed.
Yeah, exactly.
That is a very good point to note about Flink's content. That is very, very good. I think we should get stuck in and straight into the final results for Social Creator of the Year, shall we? So in the end, it is Virtual who will be your Social Creator of the Year for 2022 with 44% of votes. Spam, very close, 40%. Flink and Marcel with 10 and 6% round out the top 4. And yeah, he's been just keeping plugging away at it, and doing videos like the World Record History of Och, among others, and also Trackmania Bingo. And yeah, he's had just an amazing year overall, be it as a content creator and a streamer, which we're going to get to later.
Exactly. I mean, he also traveled to a lot of events. I mean, the most memorable moment for me was when he finished Deep Dip, and he really had a very emotional outlash, you can say, like that.
The clip was pretty...
And you could just feel that
you could see the emotions pouring.
That he lives Trackmania. You know, he is...
he lives and breathes it.
He embodies it. And also, of course, he ran the map challenge in Trackmania Nations, also possible, by the way. So if you didn't know that, you know, maybe you want to boot up some more nations and hunt those author times. And, well, Virtual wins it at the end.
Yeah, congratulations to Virtual, but I think you should also give a round of applause for the other nominees in the Social Creator of the Year category, be it Spam, be it Flink, be it Marcel Rosek, all of these people. It's kind of be a bit of a running theme in some of these categories. All of these people are very worthy of the award, and yeah, it was a hard-fought competition. Congratulations to Virtual, and big props, bravo to everyone who got nominated for this particular category.
Yes, exactly. I cannot add more to that. Very well said, Geek. And let's jump into the third category, which is Video of the Year. Also there we had 4 nominees, and also one that we just jump into now, because you've mentioned World Record History of Och. You can see it just in the bottom left corner. And then also the world record on Deep Fear, the sub 10-minute time from Muda. Very, very tremendous achievement. And then we have also AI Learns to Drive from Scratch in Trackmania. Very informative and good video. Very well put together. Yeah, very well put together, exactly. And then last but not least, how Trackmania players drive on ice. Those are our 4 nominees. I've watched all of those videos actually. I could not pinpoint any one down, but I think the biggest achievement for me in this year is definitely the world record on Deep Fear.
It has to be Deep Fear for me as well, yeah. Just the fact, the amount of work that goes into this, close to 3 years of work, trying to get that one perfect run, that one no respawn run, and that one sub 10 minute, that's an astounding achievement.
And he was so close away from it.
Yes. Like, and I got to give a special mention though to the How Trackmania Players Drive on Ice video from Veritas.
Yeah.
Because Veritas really came in and changed the way that Trackmania essentially pulled off a Trackmania documentary like no other. And yeah, this is very much a style of videography and a style of video that I'm looking forward to see much more in the next few years, hopefully.
Yeah, it was really well made. Also that he like asked other players how they see the service and input. Exactly, that was really well made. Anyways, let's jump into the winner on this category, and it's no surprise that also the achievement, in my opinion, wins the video of the year. It is Deep Fear Self 10-minute run by Moda. Congratulations, winning it with 37%. Then in second place we have Virtual's video, World Record History on Och. Also, wait, let me try to say it. Och Katzelschwaf. I tried it, I nailed it, but I'm also German, so it's a bit easier for me.
I'm not gonna go that way.
That's why I didn't pronounce, Perpignan?
Perpignan.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't try that. It's sometimes a bit better that I don't try to pronounce that. But also, huge shout out to the other videos. If you haven't seen them just yet, go ahead and watch them. Go ahead and watch them, really. And there you can see the achievement. It was unreal just to see Moda doing that time. Almost the unthinkable, you know?
Yeah.
Also,
and even he realized it. Yeah. You maybe not have seen it in the bottom left-hand corner, but he was jumping out of his seat straight away as soon as he crossed the finish line and realized it's done, it's over.
Yeah, but what do you do after, you know?
Yeah,
you've reached everything eventually.
Is that the afterlife that everyone talks about?
Yeah, maybe that's the afterlife. But what certainly is not the afterlife is our next category.
Indeed, it is not the afterlife.
What a transition.
And it is going to be a very contested category as well, because it is Streamer of the Year. Streamer of the Year,
Streamer.
as I like to say sometimes, with the most consistent and most prolific streamers in 2022, Virtual, Brand, Spam, Scrappy, Yannick's, and Hello Mark, a hotly contested category. Virtual, of course, having an insane amount of growth, gaining 100,000 followers over the year alone on Twitch, 300,000 overall. Yeah. Brand having picked up also a bit of an international schedule as well, picking up the mantle of being the biggest Trackmania streamer in France. Also Spam, continuing to plug at it and providing very much entertaining content. Scrappy, providing the entertaining content as well for those of you who seek it. Yannick's, one of the most well-known and one of the most revered players and streamers in the French-speaking scene, the francophone scene, as I like to say it. And then Hello Mark, for me, for me and for a lot of people, it was very much a deserved nomination with just the energy that he brings.
After not being nominated last year, Mark eventually made it, and I mean, we're all kind of influenced by that Mark speech, you know, just say Winke or Mark cheer or something like that. So well-deserved nomination, or just the camera that Mark has, the setup. Yeah. It's just amazing to see that. But also all the other streamers, you know, they all just have something in common. They have, like they have this.
They have that je ne sais quoi.
Exactly, that's what I mean. Yeah, there's a word for that.
Yeah, there's a word for that you can also use no matter the language. But yeah, they all have this little je ne sais quoi.
Wow, but what is that category? That's why there's also 6 nominees instead of 4. Yeah. Because the juries could not really pinpoint down 4 in that way.
There's too much to choose from. There's simply put. I think with that said, we should get straight away into revealing who the winner is for this particular year of 2022 streaming. It is going to be Spam with 31% of the votes, Bren and Hello Mark second and third, Virtual, Scrappy, and Yannick's rounding out the bottom. And yeah, Spam, you can see the deep finish clip right there, but yeah, he kept plugging away with very entertaining concepts, and also being in the casting booth for ITB on the Trackmania World Cup. So yeah, he's the I don't know if it's, I don't want to sound pejorative, but he's kind of like the elder statesman of the Trackmania Twitch scene. He is, but there is just so many people, including myself, that still watch his streams, and yeah, it is very much like a tremendous achievement for Spam, and very deserving as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's there up until the moment that I can just think about Trackmania on Twitch. He's like the person that is just delivering content, and that almost every day for like the last couple of years, even like almost 10 years kind of. I mean, he won the World Championship in 2012 and he's still around, and it's just crazy to see that he still delivers content and also tries to like elevate his content even further, and it's just cool to see. So well-deserved victory here for Spam.
Indeed.
And let's go into the next category, and it's also a category where we both are involved with, Geek.
Yeah, indeed, and it is going to be Caster of the Year.
Yeah, exactly. It's Caster of the Year. I just wanted to, present that a little bit, because I think It's a bit of a weird situation that we're both sitting here and we're both nominated. So we have Geek, of course, being nominated, a multilingual caster, I think one of a kind, also in other esports. We haven't really seen that too much. Geek, a very talented and gifted caster, casting also now both TMGL and also Challenger League, where we both had sets of casts beforehand. Then Nua Lake, one of the newer casters in the game, but man, my guy is able to hype something up.
Yes.
Like casting the mini RPG of the week, for example, like no other, and is also, which I'm really happy about, involved with the official cast of the TMCL.
Trackmania Challenger League,
exactly.
And also the European Regionals.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's Boney as well. My neighbor from the Netherlands also is nominated, has really elevated himself in this year.
Yeah, Boney really picked it up. But for me, like, special mention has to be for Nua Lake indeed. I think like he knows. I mean, he has come from the Rocket League scene, but yeah, he has the experience to back it up. And even though it was kind of his first foray into Trackmania during 2022, he really made a name for himself. And yeah, he's very deserving of that nomination. And Boney C, very much picked up the rhythm throughout 2022. And I gotta say, I know it doesn't really have anything to do, but he's been a pleasure to work with whenever we actually did it. So very deserving nominees indeed.
Yeah. And then there's also myself. But
that is true. I completely forgot to talk about you, but yeah, you're probably the most consistent out of it and of anyone during the year. You've just kept keeping at it, keeping on casting the cups, no matter the size, and it's absolutely amazing that we have someone like you who continues to dedicate themselves like that. Yeah,
I love Trackmania esports. That's what I can say. But the winner of this year's category goes to a man to the left. It is Geek, winning with whopping 52%. Geek, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
I'm happy that you won, and it's already a pleasure to be nominated in that list. And they can also see a very memorable moment. Oh man, I still remember that
catharsis, round. The absolute catharsis on that particular round. I think it was just like the pinnacle. And I'll be honest, at the end of the event, when I started to realize what just happened, I literally burst into tears. Like literally, when I started to realize how we managed to pull off the entire weekend. It's insane, and I feel beyond honored to have won the award.
Yeah, for the second time it is. I mean, you've also been nominated last year. That's where Virtual has won, and congratulations to you. Definitely deserved. You did.
Thank you.
God's work this year. And we're all friends in the casting booth. There's not like any bad blood.
There's no rivalry.
Exactly, and I think we can just all grow together. And that's Caster of the Year, but I think we have an interview coming up now, if I recall it correctly.
I do think we have.
And that is with none other than Tona.
Yeah, Tona should be joining us in a little bit to talk about 2022 as a whole for the game. And this is going to be very interesting. In fact, he's in here with us, Mr. Ayrton Lemaire. Good evening, Ayrton, and thank you very much for joining us.
Good evening, guys. It's a real pleasure to be here. Congratulations for everything you done. Well deserved award for you, Geek. Nomination also was well deserved for you.
We have a
Turbo.
little bit of we cannot hear the sound of Ayrton on our end. So
so I think we're just gonna jump into the first question then, because.
Okay, all good. We can now hear him.
Okay, there you go.
Do you hear me now?
now here. So hello, Tona. Now
That's
we hear
better.
Firstly, some things like that can happen. Firstly, how are you doing? Nice that you joined us for the Trackmania Awards.
I'm very fine. My voice is ready to be live now.
Ah, cool.
It's a pleasure to be here, of course. I'm very happy to see this kind of event, and I wanted to congratulate both of you for your nomination and your winning, Geek. Congrats. And it's a real pleasure to be here and see what can the community is able to do. It's always great to see.
Agreed. I agree with that. It's just awesome to see that production from NTWU and also all the people behind the scenes.
Everybody behind it to make this work it's a sight to behold indeed.
Exactly. But let's jump into the first question, because we want to jump into some themes, because there are also some themes that we just talked about in those categories. And the first question that I have to you, Tona, is how would you look back to the growth of the Trackmania community in 2022, also referring to maybe some smaller regions that have grown a lot?
Of course, to have more players is always positive for everyone. For us as a Ubisoft NADEO, but I guess for players, for long-time players who are able to compete, to play with new players, and like you said, from new regions. Of course, Trackmania always was very much played in Europe, and we are very happy to see that North American players are playing more and more in Trackmania, and we really hope it will be even bigger with the future console release.
Yeah, I mean, I think the American community actually has more active players than the.
That is true. I think it is the most active player base registered right now, according to the latest statistics. Indeed, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's very nice. But let's go to the next question, because we also had a lot of charity events in Trackmania last year. But there was also one charity event that I also partake in, and I think that you were also a bit more involved with, and that was the Green Game Jam. How would you reflect that event at the end?
First of all, it was a good opportunity to be able for us as Ubisoft NADEO and Trackmania to take part to this kind of event. It was like a first experience for us as a studio to do that, and when we were aware of this project, our first idea was to involve the community in it, and we wanted to find a way to involve the community in participating to this kind of event, and yeah, it was the Green Game Jam 2022 with the reforestation team, and yeah, it was, I hope players and creators had fun on it. And surely there are things to improve in the future, but yeah, it was positive, I guess.
It was really nice. Also, like that, the trees that were planted on the maps also displayed the trees that will be planted in real life.
That is a very nice touch.
Yeah. And also there was one map, I think it had the most trees, where it was like an Easter egg, where you just had like just facts about the environmental impact from companies or like stuff like that. It was really like very educational even, and you just had a very critical thought about that. So it was definitely a success, and also just having those maps as a couple of the day map is also just the bonus on top. Okay, and let's talk about the most recent creative projects. There was also another cooperation or a collaboration with NeoCupra. It was a creative project from Florentius and also MCYC. How was that perceived?
Yeah, like when Cupra came to us, like for the Greek Game Jam, we wanted to involve the community and some talents in this project. You mentioned Florentius and MCYC. They both work really hard to make this project. So Neo Cupra with 3 different districts. We already saw 2 of them. The third one is coming very soon. They work really hard on this project, and I guess like Cupra is really happy about what they were able to do. They really transformed the game. It was, of course, we had some issue with some tracks, and it also was like something really interesting for us, for everyone to touch the limit, you know, and we wanted to improve the experience for everyone. So this is why we postponed a track, and we rework hard on this track to being able to make it enjoyable for every kind of players and people who don't have a very expensive PC to have like a fun experience and discover Trackmania in a very different way.
Yeah, I mean, that sums it up pretty well. I mean, those tracks are all very unique in a kind. I enjoyed most of them, to be honest. There was this one map which had an ice slide. I really, really dig that map. It was really cool. I think that was one of the most recent maps, but it just has a very original touch that you see those themes with those 3 districts. So that's very nice. I'm looking forward that maybe something else will happen in the future, some sort of collaboration like that.
I guess we'll have to wait and see. But more collaborations like that, yes, please. Those are a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, exactly. And also maybe.
I just wanted to mention, so like we talk about Florenzius and MCYC, but there were other people from the community who were involved in the track creation. So this was like a project with many people, and of course Florenzius and MCYC are the people who worked the most on this project, but there were also some other people from the community who worked on that.
Yeah, I think they all deserve to be. They all deserve the appraisal because they've done a tremendous amount of work all together. It was kind of like a hive mind in a way to produce something as exciting and as unique as the NEO Cooper tracks.
Yeah, it's indeed very unique. And I mean, maybe a bit more personal question towards you. Did you have any favorite creative project that happened in 2022? Maybe bingo?
I didn't play a lot bingo, to be honest, and maybe one of the only player to have not much so much. But yeah, I did some games and I enjoyed a lot bingo for sure. But there are so many projects which were really interesting this year, and I have the feeling that more the time feel more creative project we have, and I have the feeling also that the track of the day feature which were introduced with Trackmania Next was like something which boosts the creativity in terms of track building. Of course, we saw from this past years many people who were really dedicated to the scenery building. If I have to pick one, it's really hard, to be honest. I see many great maps in the track of the day selection, for example. Maybe if I need to pick my favorite track of the day of the year, it might be
your track.
It might be hard for sure, but yeah, it might be Egriae from HTMH and Skarzor. I'm sorry for the pronunciation of the map name, but this track was really impressive. You can't know it's Trackmania, really.
Yeah.
The feeling on it was so beautiful and really amazing. I was really amazed by it. I'm not a nice player, you know that, but yeah, I had fun really on it. HTMH did a wonderful work with the scenery. Skarzor did great with the path as well. I had much fun as a non-nice player on it. But yeah, it would be my pick for my favorite track of the day. But in terms of skinning, we had so many skins this year. Again, maybe the year with the most skin we ever saw on Trackmania. I don't have stats on that, but I have the feeling that every day I see a new skin and new talents for sure. I can't pick a skin. I'm sorry for that. And if I want to pick like some other project, we talk about charity projects. I was involved in the Ukraine charity project by TMA. It was a great one, to be honest. I was really happy to be part of it. And also I wanted to shout out to Trackmania Scenery Hub, who started a workshop videos, which were really interesting to follow. And it's always nice to see how people are able to use Trackmania and use tools outside of Trackmania to transform the game and to appropriate Trackmania how they want to play it. And yeah, it's always nice to see that. And I think that 2022 was really a great year in the creative side, to be honest.
I think you summed it up quite well there at the end.
Yeah, I think it's
great.
Yeah, not really much to add up, is there?
Yeah, I think so as well. Tona, thank you very, very much for your time and those like very detailed answers to those questions. And thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, it was a real pleasure. Have fun tonight, and congratulations to all nominees, to all players who will be awarded tonight. And I hope you will have fun on Trackmania. 2023 is coming soon. We are already in 2023, but yeah, it will be a great year for Trackmania. I'm sure for that. There will be console release soon. There will be it's also the 20 year of Trackmania, and I hope we will all have fun on this game and be able to compete, to create, and do whatever you want on Trackmania.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
I mean,
wow. What a detailed interview that was, right?
Plus what an end speech. That is insane.
Feels strong, man.
Feels strong, man.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the correct word to say.
Yeah. All right, but after that very intense interview, I would say, filled with a lot of information, let's go ahead into our sixth category.
Yeah, sixth category, we're going to be tackling, as you've guessed by the content of the interview, the content creation space. And we're going to be moving on to, or the creativity space rather, and we're going to be starting with Skin of the Year, rewarding some of the best looking skins that we've seen this year. And your 4 nominees for today and for this year, 2022, are Celebrity Solstice by Demotion, Veritas skin by Onto Skins, Evo Pride by Queen Cloud, and Nina Dor's skin by Agoya. And I've got to say, I've got 2 shout-outs there. For technical pushing Celebrity Solstice, having a skin that can change itself just by the amount of light that actually hits the car.
It's crazy.
Mind blown. Mind completely blown. And the other one I want to shout out here is Nina Dor's skin from Agoya. Looks very, very good, very clean, crisp. And also, I feel like Agoya's work has kind of snuck under the radar for some, and I feel like this nomination is very much vindication for some of the heavy work that he's put into the skinning.
I mean, skins, as Tona has said, there are so many aspiring skinners coming up, so many skins that have been released, and it's so hard to just pinpoint them down. But I think you mentioned it, why those 2 skins were nominated. I really dig Nina's skin. It was super clean and crisp, and well, let's see who our winner is in this category.
Yes, I think we should just roll straight away with the winners, and it will be Veritas skin by Onto Skins with 34% of votes. Nina Dor's skin a closer second than we thought.
Yeah.
28% of votes, 20% for the Evo Pride skin from Queen Cloud, and Celebrity Solstice rounding out the standings at 17%. And yeah, the skin from Onto, the skin for Veritas, look at this. The lines look bright, popping
crazy,
colors,
yeah,
kind of evocating tropics, as he was explaining in his description of the skin, Onto himself, and the pattern forming an arrow, trying to symbolize speed at the same time. Very, very clinical work from Onto. He just never disappoints.
Yeah, Onto, I mean, he's also around for years already as a skinner, as a very prestigious and very active skinner, and it just an absolutely nice skin playing with all those different colors, and congrats to Onto, but also no skinner really falling majorly behind in the voting. Like everyone was just above this.
It was pretty nicely contested, and it actually reflects some of our own opinions as well. Like we haven't mentioned those the 2 other skins, but the Evo Pride skin is one of the best creations in the game, full stop, in 2022. And all for a great cause as well, Unified for Pride. This is very much a deserving nomination as well. So congratulations to all the nominees. And of course, congratulations to Veritas skin from Onto for winning the nomination. And I guess from the artistic depiction, we now move on to the artist.
Yeah, from skin to skinner of the year. And there we also have 4 nominations in this category. And of course, we've also mentioned Onto Skins, very active skinner who has been nominated. Then Tatauna from Brazil, also a streamer and a very active skinner. Then Queen Clown, also a streamer, and she's also been nominated in this category. And then Mang, wow, also like one of the most active skinners.
Yeah, one of the more prolific for sure. Like in terms of output, there's not really many skinners that can actually outrival him. That's insane.
It's
and
incredible.
Queen Clown, she's been established for a little bit now, but I feel like her quality award just kept stepping up and up and up and up, and it's really really cool to see her work age like fine wine, really.
Yeah, I mean, very well said. But from those 4 nominations, we have one winner, and it is, in this case, Antoskins. Antoskins wins with whopping 54%. That is an incredible amount of votes. Then Queen Clown comes in second, close together to Tatauna, who's on 3rd position, and then Mank on last place. But still, you know, being nominated is already
it's already an astounding achievement, and it's an honor.
Exactly, it's an honor. They can also see one skin from Anto. Wow, or like there's another one. It's my guy just keeps delivering.
It just speaks for themselves. Like from pretty much supplying every major competitive team under the sun, collaborating with NADEO on the Neo Cupra skins, and like just an astounding amount of work that he's put through, and very deserving of the title of Skinner of the Year for this year.
Yeah, congratulations again, and let's go into the next category. It is already category number 8 that we have up for grabs.
Category number 8 up for grabs, and we've talked about liveries, livery makers. Now let's talk about pictures, shall we? With Photographer of the Year. That is going to be your next category up for grabs, rewarding some of the best people with making pictures and screenshots in the game. We have AQLX, Tuta, Prof10, and Nano. And there's only one man in my heart that I got to shout out. It's Tuta. Really, the absolute the creativity and also the artistic vision of Tuta in each and every single one of the shots that he actually takes is absolutely otherworldly. It's mind-blowing, really.
It feels just like a masterpiece, kind of.
Yes, it really feels like poster work.
The perfect perspective of the map.
This is literally his work is literally something. There's nothing to throw away. It's something that you literally want a poster of. You want a print of.
Yeah, but also Nano. I mean, that's one person that I would mention here. Being involved with the Trackmania Formula League and also doing the screenshots, the showcase and all of that for that. And I've seen those screenshots those photographies the most, and I also want to give a shout out to him. And I think soon will also be the next TMFL season. They've been quite active with some events.
Yeah, also with the arrival of Pick and Race now.
Yeah, that's what I mean, exactly. Like those pre-events from TMFL, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think we should just straight away go into the end results for this particular category, and Tuta with 45% of votes. A pretty hotly contested top 2, I gotta say. 45% of votes for Tuta, winning the award. 36% for AQLX. Very, very good screen maker as well. Photographer, Prof10 in 3rd, and Nano in P4. And you're gonna be seeing some of Tuta's work come up on screen very shortly. But when I say otherworldly work and just absolutely stunning visuals, I absolutely mean it. Tuta's work is just gold.
Enjoy them, guys. Enjoy them. They are looking absolutely like, what is this? Like playing with a background and just being very pleasing to you.
Look, the Terra Via thumbnail. Like it already looks chef's kiss. The
Terra Via even get. What was it? The map from Arizona that didn't get track of the day? Was it this one, or was it a different one?
Look at that.
I'm not quite certain about
that. I know that, and you might already feel it, but like it does things to me. It makes me feel some type of way. I just can't describe it. It's just insane work that he's done, and very deserving of the award. But of course, may give a shout out to a round of applause to Nano, Prof10, and AQLX, all very deserving photographers, and congratulations for your nominations, and congratulations again to Tuta for winning the award.
Congrats, and let's go into the next category. And for that, we have our first guest next to our interviews that we've had beforehand, and it is Demotion, who will present us Movie of the Year.
Indeed, we're just going to be waiting for Demotion to come onto the call, and in fact, here it is, Mr. Demotion.
Oh, hello,
Good night.
hello.
Looking very sharp, and welcome to the Trackmania Awards Show.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me on board.
Nice
what a show tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking
Looking extra sharp.
Looking extra sharp.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I was expecting to get my award. So. All right.
All right, but let's jump into the category. Yeah. Sorry, we have a little bit of delay.
Yeah, we meet to talk about the movie category. So with the other members of the jury, we decided to represent the cinematic aspect of Trackmania. We have such an amazing tool being the media tracker, which allows such a ton of creative work. If I had to pick a favorite of mine, it would be probably the Project Horizon map from NTWU this year that uses it to simulate a lot of things like fighter jets blazing across the sky using cars to simulate the lights and all sorts of stuff. So we really had a lot of choice to find the movie of the year, and it came down to our 4 nominees because of their representation of various aspects of the community. And the one word they have all in common is spectacular. We picked movies from talented creators that celebrated the esports scenes, of course, but also the stadium car that we all share and love, and as well as the major community events like the khakis. They all have one thing in common, is that they give us goosebumps, and we're so amazed to witness what the community is creating to show their love to the game.
All right. So who are our 4 nominees then?
I guess we should head straight to the nominations.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. The Trackmania World Tour 2023 Legends trailer by MCYC.
Oh, yeah.
The Trackadia after movie from Funny Lumix. And I gotta say, the Homie no Tsuum crew unleashing the potential of Trackmania skins by Dolza. This was an absolutely insane amount of VFX being put in there. And the Kaki Reloaded 3 after movie by I Am Ben.
Those are our 4 nominees. Again, thank you so much for the motion, just presenting them so precise, and also why the jury has picked. So he actually justifies
giving us insights,
justify the decision making there. But there's one movie that stood out a bit more than the others. That is
there's going to be some hotly contested categories, and there's going to be some more like walkouts. Yeah. It's to be fair. It's to be expected.
And that is the Trackmania World Tour 2023 Legends by MCYC. And look at that, 55% of you have voted for that movie. Then we have the after movie from the Trackadia 2022. Huge shout out, was a great one because we both also attended the event. Maybe we're a bit more connected to that. So also an insanely good movie. And then Unleashing the Potential of Trackmania skins. Also, I could not really pinpoint anything down, but of course the Legend movie, it had a different vibe to it.
It had a very different vibe to it. And it's like the whole energy of it, like the entire energy, like. Is that a comp trailer or what?
Final round.
Here we are, final round on this track. Over 500 kph picked up by the drivers to make it through the loop. Then they make their way up the road on the next 2 left-handers. Reactors activated, cars left back down hard onto the tarmac. The rookie is keeping it neat and tidy on the racing surface. Crash up ahead, what a lucky escape. He keeps it pinned through the drop and carries on. Still catching up to everyone in the second final section. Back on flat for a flash lap before a long jump. Landing back down hard into the dirt. The driver decides to stick it to the outer line for the right-hander. Moving it off the walls all the way through the corner. The rookie has made it quite far up the order. The 2 teammates are finally reunited. They're now sitting second and third.
What a casting that was.
Man.
Damn, but this hits different. Like, you really build up the tension very nicely there.
It
and it compromises very well with that movie. But yeah.
It's
I mean, you
feels
kind
weird.
of also then won a bit. Can you say it like that?
It feels weird to have to kind of see it, especially when you're involved in the making of this. But yeah, like the whole vibe of it, and the amount of work that went into this, like it's just astonishing. Yeah. So yeah.
All right, that was category number 9, and now we go to the next category. We're almost halfway through, actually.
Yeah, actually, we're moving on to the double digits now in terms of categories. And yeah, we've seen pictures, like photographers, motion picture. Now, time to move on to those who make the motion picture. It is time for Movie Maker of the Year. Your 4 nominees for this year: MCYC, Lumix, Fene, and I Am Bin. I mean, MCYC is pretty much just a lock-in for 2022 with all of the stuff that he's been able to do with the Cupra trailers, with the Trackmania World Tour trailer, Project Horizon, and also Lumix and Funny having done a really great amount of work over the course of the year, working for Homie as well. And yeah, I completely forgot about it, but we do have one of the members of the jury that is along with us to actually discuss some of the nominees that we have, and it is indeed Mang. And thank you very much for joining in. Good evening. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me. I mean, I'm doing okay. I was the last in the skinning section, but I'm happy to see that Anti-Skin won. I think it was well deserved, so happy to join you guys.
Don't get discouraged by that. You got nominated.
Don't get discouraged.
Yeah, I know.
Just think about how many didn't get nominated, and you are doing great work. So really, get a round of applause for Mang again.
Yeah, just give him a round of applause. He really deserves it.
You were last, but you were nominated against the best skinners, and you also can count yourself as one of the best skinners in the game.
It's
Indeed.
definitely an impressive list. Thank you, guys. Yeah, but I'll present, I guess, the movie makers. We were a bunch of we were trying to find the correct nominees, and there's a wide variety of movie makers in Trackmania. It's quite a small community, but it's packed with a lot of talent. And I think the only one who's been nominated before is MCYC, while the 3 others are new nominations. And I think it's incredible to see how much they are able to get out of the in-game media tracker, matching like custom angles with music and special effects, and showcasing both maps, skins, and LAN events, or the esports scene in general. So it's amazing to see that some can have this really high pace, really wide angle camera angles, or some have super slow, like a slow music with a 40-minute just amazing shots. And this is really what captures Trackmania for all of us. So I think it's super important that we celebrate this. You are the guys who are going to present the winner, but I hope that we're in 2023 going to see much more amazing new movies coming out. And thanks for having me join to present the award.
Well, thank you very much, Mang, for taking the time to actually give us a little bit of insights of how the nominees got selected for this category, a hotly contested category. And you're right, I'm kind of on board with Mang. I hope 2023 will see even more creative work on the video making space and movie making space in Trackmania, and it looks like it will be the case. I really hope so. We do have 10 months to go still, and there's plenty of time to actually get creative and get down with it when it comes to movie making. And I guess we should just head straight to the big reveal about who is going to be your movie maker of the year for 2022. And it's pretty much a walkout at this point. 58% voted for MCYC. He wins the award for Movie Maker of the Year 2022. I Am Bin second. Lumix and Funny third and fourth. And as I said, Lockout, he's been involved in many big projects. The Trackmania World Tour Legends trailer, Neo Cupra trailer as well. Project Horizon, which he does on the free time. And also trailers like these that we've seen pop up very recently about the Jerem Zer.
Yeah, just a great trailer.
The Zer, sorry, I completely butchered it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not responsible for the perfect pronunciation here, so that's your job, but you can see the trailer here. So MCYC also has been around for so long. The first time I actually stumbled across him is when in the Trackmania challenge from La Bomba, where he did the edits. Maybe you remember that. So that's where I know him from. But I think also he started editing for spams, I think, for spam videos.
Yes, indeed.
I think he did,
He did about it recently.
Yeah, just recently, and then also he had just a preview of the semi-final there, and
yes, the Cup of the Day, the Cup of the Day edits. Those really look insane, especially with those like backtracking shots before the start of the round. Those are really out of the box thinking, and I like that.
Yeah. Okay, we have one another category to go for before we exceed the halfway point, and it is a map of the year. And for that, we also have another guest, and it's none other than Schlumpy.
Schlumpy joining us by voice. Thank you very much for coming in to the award show. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Hello. I'm really proud to be here. And yeah, I was in the jury, and yeah, the Trackmania community, like Trackmania thrives to all the maps. And yeah, it was a quite difficult category because like we have so many maps coming every year, every day. And so we decided as a jury that we wanted to look at the map that was really standing out in creativity, in meaningfulness, in hype, beauty, and drivability. And yeah, there were not a lot, but there were quite a few maps that fulfilled all these points. And I think we did a quite good job with representing like a variety of maps. And yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's really hard to just pinpoint down one or even like 10 particular maps. And I've seen your discussion actually. You just at some point there were 30, 40 maps that you guys were talking
back
about.
And forth and back and forth.
It is definitely not easy. And I think it's probably one of the hardest jury to be in.
Yeah, I do agree. I do agree.
One of the creative
projects. Ones, yeah, because there's a lot to choose from.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I think we can go into the 4 nominees, or is it?
I think we should. Indeed, we are going into the 4 nominees.
So we have Laputa, Castle in the Sky. I think this is a map that most of you have actually seen. It's an RPG map, very long, and just having an Unreal setting, and also not setting in Trackmania 2020. It's from Trackmania 2.
Indeed.
So you need Mania Planet for that. Then we have
Azure Chimera.
Exactly, by Nightwolf and Ellipse. Thread of Ariadne, I think I don't have to mention this map from Ville, and also having a lot of support there from his community and others. Building that map, a 20-minute endurance ramp map, where we had also a very, very nice tournament that was hosted by Virtual.
Indeed.
And then, of course, Deep Dip, I think providing us the most memorable moments from the previous year. Players just climbing this tower, and those 4 nominees, just awesome to see that. And,
yeah, it is awesome to see, indeed.
But there's so many more maps that you could just talk about that you've played. It's
indeed. Like
you
could just go for hours on end about maps and mapping. It's one of those subjects you just can talk about forever.
Yeah, exactly. But let's jump into our winner, and that is Laputa, Castle in the Sky with 48%. Then we have Deep Dip behind, also one of the most recent maps that have been released, 29%. Laputa and Castle in the Sky actually as well. Then Thread of Ariadne with 21%, and Azure Chimera with 2%. That concludes Map of the Year, and let's move on to the next category.
Yeah, indeed. I think we should head over to our next category, which is going to be Map Maker of the Year. And for this, we're just going to turn to Schlumpy again to give us maybe a little bit of insight into that particular category. And I guess the question I want to ask you is it as difficult being a jury for Map as it is for being in Mapper?
Yeah, like both categories are really hard. And I think Mapper is even more hard because you have there's not one mapper that can do that is perfect. You know, everyone is doing really awesome, good jobs, but they have all their own specialties. And that's why we had a huge discussion about 40 mappers of the who could be nominated. And we only had 6 spots to fill. So it was really hard discussion.
I might have to interrupt you, but we can't actually hear you. We don't have sound on our end, so you might have to redo that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Now it's working.
Now it's working.
Yeah, it was really hard. It was a really hard discussion because you have so many different members who are specializing in very different categories, and there are so many types in the media community in the map making that you can't have one person who does everything. So it was really hard, and I think even harder than Map of the Year because you have not the perfect mapper. And yeah, it was hell of a work, and I think we had only 6 spots to fill, and I think with that we made an awesome job. And yeah.
Well, I think we shall see about this particular category with Mapper of the Year, with the nominees popping up on screen very shortly. Thank you very much again for joining us, Strumpi, for giving us insights onto both of these categories, Map and Mapper of the Year. It was really great to get a bit of an insight from the jury about the selection process for these nominees.
Thank you.
All right, with this out of the way, then I think we should head straight to seeing the nominations for Mapper of the Year. These should pop up on the screen right now. Vixa, Prof10, Ellipse, Agent Whiskey, Scarzor, and Rexosaurus. For me, it's a bit of a tough one to call.
I mean, for me, I really want to emphasize Vixa's campaign, the 25 unique maps that we've had. But on the other hand, you know, Scarzor really elevated from just becoming an ice mapper,
yeah,
also mixed down all of that. But like all of them, Agent Whiskey always submits maps for RKO, and Prof10, Ellipse, and Rexosaurus also building like astonishing maps that mostly get track of the day. So you cannot pinpoint down, and it's here as well, a bit like with other categories, a bit like skin, that it's a bit your bias or your taste of it. So all of those mappers definitely deserve it, but you could just go on with that list infinitely. There are so many mappers that you could mention.
The list
there.
never ends. Yeah. It's just infinite scroll whenever you scroll down.
We have so many good mappers in Trackmania, not only when it comes to the route itself, but also to scenery. So just a round of applause for them. Without maps, this game would not work. You know, we need those mappers, and it's just great to see so many new aspiring mappers that try to.
I mean, what is a racing game with no tracks to race around? I mean, it wouldn't be racing. So, I mean, it could be point to point, but whatever. You get the point, right? Anyways, I think we should get to revealing the Mapper of the Year winner for this particular 2022 year. The results should pop up on screen shortly. Vixa winning the award with 38% of votes. Prof10 second with 21. Ellipse and Rexosaurus very close, 16 and 15, third and fourth. And then Agent Whiskey and Scarzor 5 and 4% at the bottom of the standings. And yeah, Vixa doing a lot of great work with the Alter campaigns, as we mentioned, and also the Advanced campaign being a really big hallmark.
Yeah, I mean that the Advanced campaign, actually, not the Altered campaign. I'm not sure if he's really involved in those. I don't think so, but he just really put all those things so well together, and then he has a theme on this map where you drive this map and you're like, wow, how does this work? So like a lot of astonishing maps, but also not only creating on the route, but you see the scenery on those maps just very, very just modern and creative in that way. So very good maps, and in my opinion, deserved victory in this category.
I totally agree with you. And once again, I think we're just going to repeat ourselves. It feels like for every category. But big congratulations to Vixa for winning the award, and also big congratulations to everyone who got nominated.
All right, let's go to the next category, category number 13, which is a creative project. We've had some creative projects in the previous year, and 4 of them were nominated. We had Trackmania Bingo, that we talked a little bit about beforehand, that has been nominated as its whole. Then the Arctic Gaming Experience 2022 in Meloy, then the Neo Cupra event, and Deep Dip. Wow, like so many things. I've actually partaken in all of those creative projects, and I think you might have been involved with them as well.
This might come in as a shocker, but I was only involved in one particular project.
I thought that you definitely played Bingo, or maybe
I've been pretty hands off, especially because of very much other reasons. So definitely out of my control, and that's why I was not really that much involved. But yes, I've been closely following, especially Bingo, and watching other streamers play it, and it feels great to see players do Bingo and try to get the particular maps first. It really feels great.
Yeah, you're not a Bingo addict yet. I
might turn us into a Bingo addict soon, though.
It's a highly addictive game mode, but then of course Arctic Gaming Experience, just going to that event was just awesome, and seeing what happened there in terms of beyond the Trackmania, that pro players traveled towards above the Arctic Circle,
yes,
and were able to just get to know the culture and also the environment.
Also, coach, all of the aspect with getting the youth involved into the scene, and also the interactions between the players and the youth. That is one of the big takeaways for me from AGE particularly.
Yeah, it was just unreal being there. Probably my favorite trip from the previous year. But then of course Deep Dip. You know, how often have you guys fallen down if you tried it? Maybe floor 1, floor 2, floor gang, you are in the mud, just to name a few memorable things. But of course, let's jump into the winner, and that is in this category, Bingo with 52%. I mean, most of you have probably played it. It's just easy to play with your favorite streamer, and Bingo takes it home. Then Deep Dip, just ahead of Neo Cupra and AGE Meloy on last position with 9%. I think that's something that you really have to experience.
Meloy, you really have to be there in order to experience it. But yeah, Bingo, easy to pick up. You can play with the streamer you want, and it's always fun to watch also the maps that end up being playing. I saw a particular clip from I think it was a mime with regular old obstacle map, I think it was called, with the Trackmania player model.
Ah, yeah, true, dude. I've played that map as well at some point, but there you can see some hilarious clips from Scrappy, who's also just playing a little bit of Bingo, and getting some fun moments in there. You can see just a small bug there. But congratulations towards Bingo, and I hope that there will be some other features. There have been the first Bingo tournament that was played in a 2v2 format, so glad to see that this is happening. Kind of the same progress as Flag Rush, just maybe a little bit more than that.
Yeah, it definitely does feel that way. So yeah, it's really great to see more and more, especially more and more community developed game modes like that being developed, because it just broadens the pool of what's possible with Trackmania, and it really feels amazing. Well, we've already done the creative project. I think it's time to tackle our next category.
Yep.
And this is all about events. Event of the year is coming up next, and these are your 4 nominees: the 2022 ZRT Trackmania Cup, the 2022 Arctic Gaming Experience in Meloy, the Trackadia tournament in the Arcadia Gaming House in Hamburg, and the Trackmania 4 Hours. I know this might seem unbiased. Trackadia is also, just like AGE for you, it is something to experience being there, but really, there is just only one name that just sticks out. It's the top left on the screen. The ZRT, the gathering in one big arena, 15,000 live spectators.
It's unreal.
It's absolutely unreal. I kind of wish I was there. To be honest.
I attended all events. I was part in all of those events, and just having this crowd control from the radio when the players crossed the freeway block, the whole stadium was quiet.
Almost.
It was incredible.
Almost the whole stadium. Yeah. There was the odd man out who would just yell when everybody was great, but just one single yell from Zerator, you just got the crowd laughing. It was an event for the ages.
Yeah, but then also the Trackmania 4 Hours event. Just, it's one of those special days that you don't want to miss out on. You just wake up at 5 a.m. and your favorite streamers are still live, having a good time, having fun.
The night stints.
It was really cool. So all of those events were really one of a kind. Trackadia, of course, we both attended, we both casted actually. Meeting all players from around Europe, just traveling to Hamburg for playing Trackmania for 3 days and having a good time was just something else. But there's one event that stood out a bit more than the others.
Yeah, indeed, and I think you'll be able to see it in the results. 49% of votes went to the ZRT Trackmania Cup in Bercy at the Accor Hotel Arena. AGE in Meloy took second with 37% of votes, and then Trackadia and the Trackmania 4 Hours at the bottom, rounding out the nominees for the event. And this is pretty much, it's kind of an obvious one, right? You just see it coming. 15,000 crowd, sold out pretty much. Everybody just enjoying the event, and also the presentation of it. It was absolutely awesome to see, and an absolutely bonkers competition through and through, even before the stage. It was insane.
Yeah. It was insane, but we come to 2 of those matches actually later that have been nominated as Match of the Year. Actually, that's a pretty good transition, because that will actually be our next category. And for that, we also have a special guest that will present those categories, who was part of the jury. And that is one person that was already nominated before, and that is Marcel.
Yes,
hello, Marcel. Nice seeing you, mate. How are you doing?
Hello. It's great to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. Let's say it like that.
Presenting this category, we really wanted to highlight matches that brought out the most excitement to the viewers and also having the high skill level. Close battles over high stakes, that was what we were looking for. And I think we found 4 options that are just that.
Yeah, I think so as well. We had some very memorable matches that have happened, but of course matches that also had a lot on stake. And I think you found a really good mixture because it's sometimes really hard to just pinpoint down one match in that way.
It is very true because there's so much happening in the Trackmania esports and the Trackmania competitive scene these days that you end up seeing so much stuff. You're like, this one felt like much more memorable. So yeah, it is very much a tough category to be a part of.
But how did you classify a match? Like, how did you say, okay, this match is better than that one? Did you have any concept going into that?
To be honest, everyone had some input on what matches they really wanted to put in into the raffle. What we wanted to pick was just a matter of discussion, and often it turned into what really was the most exciting, the most unpredictable, and with the highest stakes that can be. I mean, if I can go into a nominees a little bit, like ZRT quarterfinal number 3, the highest stakes, I think, out of all of the matches that we have here in the nominees, the ticket to the 15,000 live viewer LAN, the biggest in Trackmania's history. So that was it, for example, this one, and also the unpredictability of this match. But all the other ones also, like 1v1 of Mada and Carl Jr., that was the closest match of the year, with the ending so memorable that I think everyone can pop it into their head and just vividly see it. I think it's just really how big of an impact a match had on the viewers, and that's kind of what we went with.
Yeah, and then of course also the semifinal that I watched, the Zerator Cup 2022 semifinal, which just kind of outshadowed the grand final.
Yeah,
it was just an incredible match, Carl Jr. and Brent just getting eliminated as the 3rd nomination. But there was also the last nomination. That was also a very memorable match, and that was the AGE Grand Final at Meloy. I mean, I recorded the winning moment for PAC. So those were our 4 nominations, and I think you did a really good job of just pinpointing down those matches. And I couldn't, again, it sounds so weird because I watched all of those matches, but I couldn't say this match is better than that or whatever. And I mean,
I feel the same. I've been watching them all. I'm like,
crazy,
there's not really any particular edge.
Just toss a coin or whatever, or roll the dice.
Yeah, it's a coin toss.
Exactly. But there was one match I think that we all agree on that was a bit further ahead, also due to the storyline, the ending of it, the couple of thousand, I think 6,000 that have decided it, the winner, and that is the Trackmania TMGL Spring Final, Carl Jr. versus Muda. That was, I think, the most memorable match in the previous year.
Yes, indeed. 50% of the votes going to the Spring Final, AGE Grand Final, and the second semifinal, the ZRT, very close, 19 and 17%, 13% for the 3rd quarterfinal. And just going all the way to the last game, to the last round, and having a race go down to the wire. For me, beyond Trackmania, this is what racing is all about.
Yeah, beyond Trackmania also was very memorable casting from Virtual and Janik. It was really cool. Janik's reaction was so pure, so great. I loved it.
The words are simple because they're in the moment. They're just living this moment, and there's absolutely even your brain primalistic just kicks on whenever you're witnessing a moment like that. You don't really find exactly. Sometimes the vocabulary.
You cannot plan it.
You cannot plan it. Nothing can be planned. And the vocabulary just becomes a lot simpler and a lot purer, and that's probably what makes a moment unique in a way.
Yeah, I agree with that. So I think this list is very complete of matches. You could of course add some more, but those were almost grand finals. Zerator Cup being absolutely stacked, and wow, this match I sat in front of my PC and the underdog just making it, just knocking them out.
Yeah, indeed, and what a way to also take your first Trackmania Grand League title, it must be said.
Same as well. All right, but let's go into the next category.
Yeah, next category, which is kind of linked with the previous one, which was Match of the Year. We're going to be tackling Round of the Year. And joining us from the jury for Round of the Year to give us a little bit of an insight on this particular category, it is going to be Myas89, the Safe Meister himself, with the lock around the microphone. Gotta enjoy that touch. Welcome onto the Trackmania Awards show. And yeah, I hope you're doing okay.
Yeah, I'm doing fine.
All right, so you are here to represent Round of the Year for the jury, and I kind of want to get a little bit of an insight because I feel like it's an even tougher category than match, because yeah, there are a ton of matches, but within those matches there is an even bigger series of rounds, and it's even harder to pinpoint which one is actually the more memorable ones.
That's true. Yeah, we basically had 3 rounds directly in mind, also from the votes from the public. So basically the first one was clearly the round between Mada and Carl Jr. This round is of course also one of the reasons why it is the match of the year. Going into the last round and then decided by 6,000, it had to be one of the nominations. So this one was basically exciting and close. The next one was very tragic. I'm speaking of Trackmania event with Granadi and his loss at the finish line in the consolidation final. This was, of course, one of the moments of the year that everybody remembers. And the third one was a very unique round in a competition with 4 players, and the top 3 all finished with the exact same time on the 1,000. So these 3 we directly had in mind. And then, we thought something is missing, a funny clip, a funny round. And we also have many of those. And then we decided to take this one with Coco, Alcon and Maimut Jr. in the identity of an early TMGL map in the beginning of the year, which was quite a funny clip with a camera from above. You couldn't see, you have to watch it twice to understand what happened. Everyone had to lead, everyone failed at different spots, and then it was even a snipe at the finish line with only 900s or something between first and second. Yeah, and thanks to the clip channels from YouTube, Trackmania News, and also others, we had so many more clips and rounds to watch, and I made then a huge list of clips, and we decided then for 2 more nominees. And yeah, this was then the final of the mini RPG, which is a weekly event. The final between Astronaut and S-Side was a big back and forth between them, always changing positions with huge risks in all the parts. And we took also something from the ZRT semi-final that we also had in the match of the year. With Bren and Afi denying the win for Vosai, and Afi with that also got finalists. We had then I think 6 finalists after that round, and Bren came also closer. That was of course a great round as well, and you hear the public in the background cheering there.
So yeah, that's very good summary of everything, and yeah, plenty to choose from, and yeah, I think it's a wise decision to have bumped the number of nominees up from 4 to 6, because as we said, there's just so much to choose from when it comes to competitive rounds in Trackmania.
I think the jury did a very, very good research, also using the clips channels and also probably the experience. I mean, Marius has played a lot of those competitions, and I think there were also some more memorable rounds, for example, the overtake from Dexter. But I think let's just go ahead and check who has won this respective category. But all of those rounds were, of course, very memorable.
Very memorable indeed.
Had a different charm to them. So
yeah, that is true. But it ends up being a walkout in the end. 63% of votes going to the Trackmania Grand League Spring final round. Mada winning over Carl Jr. by 6,000ths of a second. The French Game World Tours triple tie second place. The Open Grand League, the Trackmania Grand League Open Winter Final third. Then the consolidation match from Trackmania. Then the second semifinal from ZRT, and finally the mini RPG of the week. I mean, we've already seen it once. Might as well just see it again, right?
Yeah, let's watch it again.
Let's watch it again, indeed. And this time we're getting even more context to the round, which is always a good refresher.
And the casting as well. So let's enjoy Virtuals and Janie's casting here.
This will extend. Carl needs a good drift setup here to remain in the match. He goes a little bit wide. It's 0.3 in favor of Mudda in a really good spot here to potentially take the throne away from Carl. Carl will try with a low jump to get a bit closer. He gained 2/10 over the uphill and downhill no jump. Carl is still getting closer. It's still the same gap. Mudda trying to hold on. The last jump to the side. Who wins? TMGL this season. Carl barely overtaking the lead. Mudda is going to go for the more speed. Whoever gets it best here wins, and Mudda will have some more speed.
Who gets there? It's so close. We can't see points. 6,000 of a second, and Mudda wins the.
Wow, yeah, this reaction from GGeek I was referring to beforehand. Absolute great round, but also, you know, Mudda just sniping it at the very end, you know, just overtaking Carl Jr. there, and just, you know, the casting and the whole round just building up and coming to a climax just in front of the finish line.
Yeah, indeed. The whole catharsis at the line, and all in that final sector. That race was just insane. That round ended up being your round of the year winner. So big congrats to, well, I'd say congrats to the round. It's very weird to say that's an immaterial thing.
It's great that we've witnessed it.
Yeah, it's just such a one in a million thing to witness as well.
Yeah, like the 9-darter that we've seen a couple of
the World Championships with Michael Smith's 9-darter versus
like,
Michael Van Gerwen.
Yeah, who also just threw 8 perfect darts and lost. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're gonna go to the next category where Marius is also gonna join us, and it is not that one yet. We have before that an interview.
Oh, indeed.
True. Yeah, I almost forgot about that.
Yeah, we do have an interview lined up for you, and it is with none other than Mr. Softy B, the esports manager from Ubisoft NADEO, to kind of look back on 2022 from the esports side and to see what 2023 has in store maybe for the competitive side of Trackmania.
I'd say 2022 was in the continuity of the previous years. It was a year where we tried various formats again, trying to find the perfect recipe for what should be our esports in the upcoming years. Starting with a multiplayer format, switching to 1v1v1 format that kind of related to the past years of Trackmania. I mean, it was a great year in this meaning that we had the chance to come back to offline events throughout the World Championship at the Stade de France. Seeing the players was great, and having one of the greatest matches that we ever had between Carl and Mudda during the year, that kind of stuff. So yeah, 2022 was really good in many ways. A lot of learnings, and it was also the year where we decided to take a break and think about what should be the future of Trackmania esports, which led to what we are where we are now in 2023. First, I believe that we never left the idea of having World Tour and Grand League as a show, and by show I don't see any negative aspects behind that. I believe esports should be interesting for players, but also for spectators, and in that sense, providing the best show to our spectators is one of our main goals, and is still throughout this format. But regarding the expectation, I believe it brought a lot of motivation to other players, and we can see that on a daily basis. They enjoy way more playing Trackmania competitively, and that's great. But as a spectator as well, it kind of pushed me again personally to be really focused and to watch all the matches, the excitement that I believe we kind of lost at some point at the end of 2022. On many ways and on many points, I believe this format is exciting, interesting to play, to watch, and brings already and brought out already some of the biggest matches we ever had with BDS against Solari, BDS against Alliance, not Alliance, sorry, but I don't remember who they played, but Alliance and Big, that kind of stuff. So yeah, already a great beginning of the year, and I would say we expected to have such excitement and close matches, but not this far, and that's great. I mean, everyone seems to love it, so we're pretty happy. Well, obviously we have the console release, which is most likely going to be really important for the esports as well, for the game at first, but then for the esports. We have a lot of plans coming on throughout the year. It's also on November we'll celebrate the 20th year of Trackmania, so that's gonna be something. And also the World Championship. So without spoiling anything, yeah, we're working on things. I believe 2023 is we're just at the beginning, and it's gonna be even better throughout the months. I can't wait to see what Trackmania eSport can brings to us. I'd say just stay tuned and watch out for upcoming announcements, because we have a few things that will come up in the upcoming months.
And we are back after that outlook into 2023 from Omar, or we can also call him Softy. And well, I mean, let's just jump into the next category, which is Classic TM Player. And for that, we also have Marius, who's going to join us from the jury to present us the nominees in this category, because there were also, like, not 4, but this time 6 nominees. Marius, welcome back. And you're still safing. That is great.
Yeah. It's very nice that we still need this category, because all the games also still have very active communities. For example, in Canyon, we started with a competition with over 1,000 euro prize pool. And also United has right now a competition with over 2,000 euros prize pool. So these games are still living. Yeah, and in the previous year, we now also choose 6 nominees. 2 of them from Trackmania Nations Forever, 2 of them from Trackmania Turbo, and 2 of them from Trackmania 2. And yeah, the stadium ones are Racehuns and Crosshairs. Crosshairs has beaten a lot of world records on very prestigious tracks, such as EO2, the overwall map from NADEO. He got all the pro world records on TMN ESWC as well, and he also got world records on the last maps of certain campaigns, like Star Stadium E, Platform E. Racehuns focused on the speedruns in Stadium, got several world records, also with an unforgettable moment in the Blue Series. And he also got a very good random map challenge run in TMNF with 50 author medals in 1 hour. He also got some world records, how many we don't know. Yeah, then in Trackmania Turbo, we have Fanatikilots, or however you want to pronounce him.
I would say Fanatikillers, maybe?
Yeah, you got
it
right.
Yeah, he got lots of world records in the Valley and Canyon environment. Only in Canyon, Meep is denying him some, but in Valley is over 40 as well. And in Lagoon, in Trackmania Turbo, Summerleaf Offer has now 48 out of 50 world records by now. Wow. So those 2 also definitely deserve the nomination here. And then my personal favorite is Meep, who in Trackmania Tour is dominating the Canyon environment as he already did the previous years. He showed that again in this very big competition. In the grand final, he top-ranked every single map, led his team to the victory. And he also got now 60 out of 65 world records in the Canyon campaign and TM2. The 5 missing ones are all just random LOL maps with cuts. Yeah, and he now also improved a lot on Valley and Lagoon, getting over 30 Valley records in the previous year, and also some Lagoon records, which makes him now the most versatile Trackmania 2 player outside of the stadium environment. Yeah, and then we have Suiram, who focuses still on Canyon, and he plays these smaller cups like the Hype Boys Endurance Cup and the Smurfs Cup Canyon, and he got extremely many wins this previous year.
Yeah, I think you mentioned a very good point that those games are definitely not dead. I mean, we have seen us, the speedrun of Trackmania Turbo, for example, still finding interest, still the best solo mode that is out there. Then United, the competition still alive, and it's just great to see that those games are still like thriving and also try to like still hold their community, old players coming back. But I think those 6 nominees were also really well made together. You know, you had like categories in the category itself.
Yeah.
And I think there is one person that takes it all in this category, and think we all know him, we all love him.
Yeah.
And it is Race Hans who takes it here with 38%, followed up by Crosshairs with 23%, Meep, also my favorite in this category with 20%, then Suriram with 17%, and I think I can kind of explain where this 0.8 and 0.3% are coming from, because those players are kind of like, they're turbo players, and this community is a little bit,
It's
like not like included in that way, and also because they have like their console release. It is
a somewhat segmented.
Yeah.
So it's a somewhat fractured scene in a type of way with all the different console releases and whatnot.
Exactly, but it's still cool to see that they get mentioned. I mean, reaching 200 STMs is still one of the biggest achievements in Trackmania. So Super Track Master medals I'm talking about, and you can also see Race Han's world record. There's still a cut possible on this map, but there was a battle between him and Jan on this map, and also here one of the more classic maps that Hans also tackled during 2022. And I mean, we don't know how many records he has in his folder. We know that the folder exists, but we will find out at some point. And also here the most memorable moment, the moment that Marius talked about from the blue speedrun, where he just went for the cut on C14 endurance, and he eventually made it to get himself the world record in that speedrun. So very memorable moment, also happened on stream. So great job, Hans, and congratulations for winning the Classic TM Player of the Year award.
That is a very, very deserving award, and of course, congratulations to everybody that got nominated in this particular category as well. And moving on to our next player category, we have focused on the Classic TM players. Now let's focus on those who have made some of the biggest progressions throughout the year, with Most Improved Player of the Year up next. And for this particular category, we're going to welcome back someone who's been already nominated, someone who's already joined us on the show previously. It's none other than Marcel. Welcome back. And yeah, I kind of also want to know, what was the thought process about trying to pick out the nominees? Was there kind of like anything you were trying to quantify, like any sort of metric that you were trying to follow by, or was it more of like a feeling for how the progression really, really resonated with you?
Of course. It was, to be honest, more of a gut feeling, but also we were going with multiple definitions of improvement, to be honest, because there are a lot of them, and I think we can showcase that through the nominees. And for example, Elkon had definitely the biggest rise in competitive ranks as an improvement in the year. He was fighting for his place in Challenger League and found his way somehow into TMGL straight away. So yeah, Elkon quickly became viewers' favorite and garnered himself quite a fan base. Then we had another definition, which is a big breakout year. Feed definitely embodies that one, with winning Gamers Assembly, F-Ray, OGL, and then Trackmania, often losing his lower bracket buff. He definitely embodied that big breakout definition. And then there was something like improvement throughout the year, and that's where Ota came in, and he definitely didn't start the year so hot with TMGL being just in the middle of the pack, barely getting into the final chance, but later he showed what he's capable of in the ZRT, in the World Cup. And then we've got Mime, who kinda had everything combined for him. He had a big breakout year with the World Championship and the top 5 TMGL, but he also had that improvement throughout the year. I mean, going from TMGLC to being the Vice World Championship is quite of an improvement throughout the year. And then he also had that rise in the ranks, also being that Vice World Champion. So those were kind of the criteria we were going for with this category, and I hope that makes sense.
It does indeed make sense, and yeah, those sorts of different sorts of progression that have been quantified really, really highlight the variety of player profiles that are in Trackmania. And I gotta say, quick special mention to Otak. Yes, he started in the middle of the pack, but he quickly showed that he was not to be meant to be in the middle of the pack. He was showing that he was Gwent to be a front runner right from the outset. Of course, there's a ton of other stuff to talk about, but I don't think we've got any time for this.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
I think we should head straight to the big reveal for Most Improved Player of the Year. Your winner with 37% of votes in a hotly contested category at that is Feed, Mime, and Elcon, 29 and 28% in second and third place. Otak with just 5% of the votes rounding out the bottom. I mean, I gotta say this personally, I've witnessed this firsthand. Joining Crazy Esport up first and then showing up in a big way at LAN events this year, being just the LAN king and doing back-to-back LAN wins. GA, F-Ray, Trackmania. I don't call him the lower bracket world champion for nothing.
Yeah, he is. And also one thing that I want to mention is Otak. Sometimes being overshadowed by Mime, who is the vice champion of the Trackmania World Cup. But some people forget how well he actually played in that competition.
Yes, the World Cup, that moment where he qualified, first of his match was absolutely berserk. And you could see, of course, rewatching another round that we've seen before, the game-winning round and the tournament-winning round to the line, indeed, for Feed. And congratulations to Feed for winning Most Improved Player of the Year. But I think you guys should still give a big round of applause for Mime Elcon and for Otak, who, in their own way, had a crazy year and had a really big boost and bolstered their confidence and their skill level and their outreach to the broader public over the course of the year by their performances.
But there was only one player who played for Team Crazy, and that was Feed.
That is true.
Okay, jokes aside. Let's go to the next category, and for that we also have a special guest and a partner in crime. Maybe you are... You might know him, you might have heard from him. It's none other than Mr. Import. Man, we have no time for this, Import.
Hey man, I don't know, man. Hey, I'm jealous of you guys that you guys get to be there. I'm jealous you guys get to be there. Thank you guys so much for having me. Honestly, I wish I could be there with you guys, but honestly, you guys have been doing a fantastic job as hosts for this wonderful award show. Honestly, you guys should be proud of yourself. GGeek, my guy, winning caster of the year. Like, I'm super proud of you, my guy. Turbo, I love you, man, but I don't know, man. It's kind of hard when you got a bilingual caster, almost trilingual if he ever decided to do it in German one day. So yeah, but honestly, like Turbo, you're super good at what you do as well, and I am aspiring to both of you. But yeah, as GGeek as my fellow caster, I have to kind of be happy for him. But it's time to get to the nominees. It's been a long show, and I know you guys are ready. You guys are probably tired in those chairs, so I want to get it right to the next category, which is the Team of the Year, and I am the representative jury member for that. Greetings, everyone. I am Import from Team Evo and Team GL English caster for Sinners, along with GGeek. He is my co-caster, and I am very happy and honored to represent the jury for Team of the Year. It wasn't an easy road in deciding the selected nominees, but to explain the decision process really quickly, in short form, the category description demanded that competitive teams be highlighted with accomplishments based on the team itself rather than focusing on individual successes. In that regard, we also considered that there are also other teams that contribute to and accomplish much in Trackmania, and that is why we also included 2 honorable mentions like Waypoint and Evo, which are not listed on here, but that's okay. Permitting in the future, maybe there will be a category for teams like those to shine, but however, this is about competitive teams, and honestly, these teams listed are deserving of these nominations. They have performed extremely well, and they have been in a lot of major competitions in Trackmania, online and in LANs. So, now to reintroduce our nominees for the final time, which you see on the screen, it is Team Shift, M&M Gaming, Racing Dot, and Numalox Orcs GP.
All right, that is going to be indeed making up our 4 nominee list for Team of the Year, and I gotta say, like we've been accustomed to these particular teams there being present on the competitive scene, especially online. We've seen a lot in team competitions such as TMM or even CPS this year.
But mostly it was really tech competitions that were represented by those teams, but also mixed styles. But there's one team that kind of stands just out a little bit more, and that is Team Shift. having a tech and also a full speed lineup.
Yes.
And they are also the winners of this year's Team of the Year award with whopping 60%, being ahead of OrgGP Numalops. Half of that mark goes to them. Then M&M and Racing Dot very close to 6 and 4% respectively. But also Racing Dot, Portuguese team. I've casted a Portuguese tech tournament, I think it was in 2021, and since then the Portuguese community does not stop to grow, and it's great to see that such a small percentage of players are just playing around. And there we can see Mark and me there's Mark and me casting the winning round from Team Shift, and that was a very, very cool match, also very close. So very cool to see that, and congratulations towards Team Shift.
Indeed, congratulations towards Team Shift. But I think Team Shift. But I think you should always give a round of applause to the other nominees in the category: Racing Dots, M&M Gaming, as well as Compagnie Numalops, who all really deserve their nomination. And I gotta give a special shout out. I know this is not exactly the winner, but Orgs Compagnie Numalops have had a staggering progression ever since they've joined OrgsGP in late 2021.
That's correct.
And they really soared through, and it really showed throughout the entire year.
Also in TMCL right now. That's
also in TMCL, indeed, with Complex and Panda
winning today.
Yeah, congratulations to the wins for you both.
Great matches today that we have witnessed. But anywho, we still have 2 more categories, and I think we call them the big boys.
Yeah, we got the 2 big boy categories, starting, of course, with Amateur Player of the Year. And for this, we thought we were done with you, Aaron, or you maybe thought you were done with us. But no, we've got one more category for you to go through.
You can't get rid of me just yet, okay? I still want to have my time. Although I will say, if I can really quickly, Shift, honestly, so deserved. I fought for them as a jury member there because I knew they deserved their spot, and I'm glad that they got the recognition that they deserved. But now it's time to focus on the Amateur Player of the Year. The description should be self-explanatory, but just in case there was any confusion, this category is reserved for non-professional competitive players who participated in events throughout 2022. The nominees should be no surprise to anyone, as we, the jury, felt that in tandem with what should be considered the obvious picks for nominees, we also wanted to highlight and celebrate other niche communities within Trackmania. Without further ado, once again, the nominees for the Amateur Player of the Year are, once it comes on screen here, it should be Feed, Miquatro, Wozile, and Switch. Congratulations to each of these nominees. They truly deserved their spot to be recognized for this last year.
Nominees for Amateur Player of the Year. Thank you very much for joining us tonight in Port for introducing both Team of the Year and Amateur Player of the Year. Thank you very much again for joining us, and we wish you a pleasant night.
Yep, I'll see you tomorrow, GGeek.
At the cast.
See you tomorrow, indeed. Yeah.
I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, indeed, for exactly the first match of the day, which is going to be, as a quick plug, Sinners versus BDS.
I hope I can watch it though.
That's true. That is indeed true. You make a good point.
Yeah.
Well, everybody in Port has actually really summarized it well, and we could go riff off without nominees, but I feel like it's time to do the big reveal, and there's one standout really name in that particular category. It is Feed with 58% of the votes. Switch, 23% of the votes coming up. Runner-up, Wozile and Miquatro, 3rd and 4th, and very much for the same reasons that we've explained on the Most Improved Player of the Year. Feed was just absolutely stomping everything that he saw in terms of competition throughout.
Do we see it again?
And we see that's the 3rd time in the tonight that we've actually seen this round. But again, lower bracket world champion pretty much in my book. Very strong performances overall. The Giga Chad indeed.
Pac Jr.
Pac Jr. I can actually come with that. But if I can just riff off on another nominee, Switch is a very, very strong nomination and very, very deserved as well.
Yeah.
She has been on top of the game in full speed this year, bringing her team Revolves to victories in both Full Speed League Season 3 and SPS Season 11.
True, yeah.
Indeed, and coming only second best
behind
to Dan
yeah.
in the full speed tournament at the Gamers Assembly. So
that was a crazy match.
Yeah. Also, of course, give a round of applause to all the nominees, to Switch, Wozile, Miquatro, and of course to Feed. Congratulations once again for winning your 2nd award tonight.
a second award for feat. I mean, just I think also well deserved. My guy just had a very complete year, winning 3 LAN events and also now playing in TMCL with his teammate Panda. So I look forward how they can perform there as well.
It's
Enner, true. Panda was with true. I always Complex Panda. Yeah, I'm still a beginner. Sometimes I forget names, and it was a long day.
It happens to the best of us.
But sometimes that can happen. So everything is good. But let's jump into the last category, which is Pro Player of the Year. Although that we have a familiar face that will join us again. It is Marcel. Hello. All good things come in threes. Hello.
Hello. You didn't expect me to see me for the 3rd time. But here I am for the Pro Player category of the year. This category involves only players that have competed in TMGL during 2022. So a pretty small cast to choose from, since there was only one season, 16 players, and there were pretty much 4 clear picks for the jury to pick from that has impressed us the most with their results. So really, there was not that much discussion there. The picks were pretty much clear. You can never go wrong with Carl Jr. Mime was an obvious choice this year. Mada is here just for his amazing performance there in TMGL and World Cup. Also a clear pick. And the last one was Pak, who also had a great year with MSI, TMGL, and Arctic Gaming Experience.
I think you're completely right with that. I mean, that was kind of the breakout year for Muda, also dethroning Carl Jr. But you cannot go wrong with Carl Jr. and Pak. Pak had a more quiet year, but still delivered when it matters. And then, of course, you have Mime, who had like just the year, being almost dethroning Carl Jr. as well in the World Cup, being just the face, the new face of the Trackmania scene, and just competing against
the face of the new guard. In a sense,
the new generation of Trackmania.
Indeed, you're right. And Pak, you said quiet year. But especially for me, the most cathartic moment for Pak, Arctic Gaming Experience final. It has to be that particular one that when we saw the Giga Chat actually, we were like, he's back.
Yeah, he's back. I checked his pulse before the final. He had a pulse of 80 or something. I couldn't quite believe it. So Pak, absolute Giga Chat. But the winner of this category is not Pak. It is the GOAT of Trackmania, Carl Jr. But not with a huge margin. It is Muda and Mime overtaking Pak in that way, which also is due to Pak's more quiet year, I would say, but still deserved on this list. And then Mime and Muda very close to 2nd position. Let's see, I'm actually really hyped for this category the most, what will come in 2023, how the shift will go, if Carl Jr. can redeem himself again as the GOAT, or if it will eventually be time that we see another player winning the World Cup.
Yeah, maybe a bit of a passing of the torch, or maybe someone else picking up the mantle where Carl Jr. might be leaving off. It might. I mean, at this point we say that, but he's probably going to stomp something for the next 10 coming months. I don't really know. Yeah. So only the future will tell. But yeah, Carl Jr. coming back from. Remember, he was playing in the up and down at the beginning of the year. He was playing in the head-to-head.
Because of spam snipe.
Indeed, and
the story
coming back from that particular point in January all the way to this particular point in July that you see right now on screen, with the game-winning round for the Trackmania World Cup to pick up his 5th world title in Trackmania. I like to draw comparisons, but he has as many Trackmania titles as Juan Manuel Fangio did in Formula 1 before Michael Schumacher went to beat him. And I think records only meant to be broken, and maybe we would see another record being beaten this year in terms of world championships. I don't really know.
We don't know. That's what we will find out in the next couple of months. The year has just started, and I'm looking forward to see what the year will bring to us. And we had 21 categories, and the winner have been presented. Also, the medals in front of us, they will be sent to the nominees. So those beautiful ones will be sent to all the nominees. Maybe we can show them real quick here on screen. That maybe I can. Should I do that?
Yeah, just a quick pickup.
Yeah, that's there. Like you can see. Here's a medal that we'll send to all the nominees. So that's great to see. That's a small gift from us towards them, that they have won their respective category. But with that, we are at the end of our award show, and well, there's one special person that we would like to just bring on stage, and it's none other than Lauz. So Lauz, hello, welcome.
Hello guys, hello, and thank you very much for the show, for everything you did tonight and everything you did all the past months, because producing one video a day was a great work from you both, but also from Funei, a video maker that has been nominated later, who helped me editing those videos. So I'm here really to thank everyone who has been involved in this project. And starting with the person who made it possible, I think of the NTWU crew, who allows us to record a show like that, bring you here in Perpignan together. I think of Nexty, John, also Coco, and Mathieu, who helped us. And I think also at Ubisoft NADEO, who helped us making it possible, and especially Tona and Adrian, who make it really possible. I also want to thank my Trackmania News crew, who was here for me, who was a referee for the jury and the moderator for everyone. They made it possible to make the jury produce text and choose the nominees in time. So thank you so much, and especially to Kakwa, who was my right-hand man, and Lucas, Nitrofaint, and Luna. I also want to thank Dimitri from Pole Production, who allows us to record it with this material. And I guess, guys, that's it.
That's a wrap.
Thank you very much.
That's a wrap for this edition.
Yeah, that's a wrap, and maybe we will do even better next year with you guys, maybe.
I hope so.
I hope so as well.
I hope so as well. It was a pleasure. It was the second time for both of us hosting that, and I can also just connect with that, what you've just said. I can just say thank you for that opportunity, just coming the long way from Germany towards France, to the south of France, and it was a pleasure being here, so thank you so much. Just giving me that opportunity.
I also want to thank you for bringing me on board for this particular edition. It's been a pleasure, and it's been a real experience to get to host something like this. And it really is something, a once in a lifetime thing that I just lived. So thank you very much for getting me on board.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Well, that's it for the Trackmania Awards of 2022. I'm Lucas Turbo, joined in by
Thomas GGeek Mengozi
and
Lauz.
And we will see you hopefully next year for the next edition of the Trackmania Awards, but this time for 2023.
Godspeed, people.